Attention duelists. Phoenix here, going to be opening the new pack that just came out, Mysterious Labyrinth. As usual, going to open up a bunch of 10 packs, going to read off any cards that are new, and we're just going to go. Why the hell is illegal Knight you are? Oh, I'll get to that later. Right now, let's open. One rainbow, not the best. Fix that. Should be. Alright, yeah. Got the cursor hid. Wow, one new card out of all of that. That's upsetting. Sol and Luna, quick play spell. Target one monster you control and one monster your opponent controls. Apply the following effect on each monster depending on its battle position. Face up, change it to face down. Face down, change it to face up. You can only activate one Sol and Luna per turn. This is potentially a better Book of Moon. Potentially. Seems a little bit trickier though. Oh, hey, you are. Okay. Runic Allure. Continuous spell. Each time you quick play spell is activated, banish the top card of your opponent's deck. You can only control one Runic Allure. This just helps feed into the Runic Banish mechanic. Predaplant Triantis. It's a level 8, scale 8 plant monster with 2400 attack, 1000 defense. Its pendulum effect is once cards in the pendulum zone. If you fusion summon a dark fusion monster, you can also use cards in your pendulum zones as monsters on the field as material for its fusion summon. Its monster effect is if this card is sent to the graveyard or added to your extra deck face up because it was used as fusion material, you can choose monsters on the field up to the number of monsters you control. Place one predator counter on each one, and if you do, any of those monsters that are level 2 or higher become level 1 as long as they have a predator counter. It expands the range of what you can use as fusion material for Predaplant stuff, and it spreads out predator counters. It's fine. Runic Slumber. Quick play spell. Activate one of these effects, but skip your next battle phase after activation. First effect. Target one face-up monster on the field. The next time that monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect this turn, it is not destroyed. Also, it cannot attack this turn. Then, banish the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. Or, second effect, special summon one Runic monster from your extra deck to the extra monster zone. You can only activate one Runic Slumber per turn. All of the Runic quick play spells will have that secondary effect of special summoning to the extra zone, so I'm not going to list those off every time. The Weather Forecast. Field spell. When this card is activated, you can place one The Weather spell trap from your deck face up in your spell and trap zone. You can only use each of the following effects of the Weather Forecast once per turn. If you link summon the Weather Link monster, you can also use face up the Weather cards in your spell and trap zones as the Weather monsters for link summon. During your main phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon one The Weather monster from your hand. Only activate one The Weather Forecast per turn. Not bad. Expands what you can do with the weathers, makes it easier to get their spells and traps, gives you an extra summon. Good for them. I still don't think that the weather cards themselves are good. And I clicked away and didn't get to read Titanocider. Do that later. Labyrinth Chandragalier. It is a level 3 fiend with 1500 attack and 0 defense. Quick effect. You can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard and discard one card to set one Labyrinth spell trap from your deck or hand. If a monster leaves the field by a normal trap effect while its card is in the graveyard, except during the damage step, you can add this card to your hand. Only use each effect of Labyrinth Chandragalier once per turn. And there's Alice, Lady of Lament. Level 3 Fiend, 0 attack, 2000 defense. When this card is normal summoned, you can target one Lady of Lament monster in your graveyard and special summon it. You can only use each effect of the following effects of Alice, Lady of Lament once per turn. Banish one trap from your hand or graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. If this card is tributed, or if this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can add one Fiend monster whose combined attack and defense equals 2000 from your deck to your hand, except Alice, Lady of Lament. She's a Lady of Lament card. They're a little tricky weird. Alright. Ariane, the Labyrinth Servant. Level 4, Fiend, 1800 attack, 1100 defense. You can send one normal trap from your hand or that's set on your field to the graveyard to special summon one level 4 or lower Fiend monster from your deck in defense position, except this card. If another monster leaves the field by your normal trap effect, you can draw one card, then apply this effect. From your hand, special summon one Fiend monster or set a spell or trap. You can only use each effect of Ariane, the Labyrinth Servant, once per turn. She is one of the two Labyrinth Servants. She's not the better of the two, because the other one is a Search on Summon. But she is not terrible. She just requires her staying on the field and then you doing stuff. And then we have this random UR, Illegal Knight. A level 7 Fiend with 2000 attack and 2000 defense. During the main phase, if you control no monsters or control an adventure token, you can special summon this card from your hand as a quick effect. If you control an adventure token, quick effect, you can target up to 2 cards your opponent controls, give control of this card to your opponent, and if you do, return that cards to the hand. You can only use each effect of Illegal Knight once per turn. It is quick effect targeted bouncing and then gives itself away. I do not believe that this card justifies itself being a UR. Parasomnia Pillow. I love the art on this card. Equip card. During the end phase, you can destroy the equipped monster. If this card is sent to the graveyard because the equipped monster was destroyed and sent to the graveyard, special summon one Parasomnia token with the equipped monster's original type, attribute, and attack. Then equip this card to that token. You can only use each effect of Parasomnia Pillow once per turn. This seems like a funny way to get rid of your opponent's monsters. They put something out on board, you equip it with this during the end phase, you blow them both up, then you give yourself a token that has that monster's attack. Funny. I don't see this seeing play unless it's in some weird gimmick. Bear Welcome Labyrinth. Normal trap. When a monster declares an attack while you control a Fiend monster, target one card on the field, negate the attack, and if you do, destroy the targeted card. Then you can set one non-Labyrinth normal trap from your hand or deck. This is negate attack with a little bit of Michizuri mixed in and some extra stuff. I don't know how well this would fit in compared to other powerful trap cards, though. That's going to be a wait and see. Let some of those wizards that do the deck building figure it out for me. Predaplant Bufolicula is a level 1 scale 0 pendulum plant monster with 0 attack and 0 defense. Its pendulum effect is, during the main phase, you can fusion summon one Dark Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material. You can only use effect once per turn. Its monster effect is if this card is sent to the graveyard or added to your extra deck face up because it was used as fusion material, you can add one face up Dark Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand except this card. You can only use this effect of Predaplant Bufolicula once per turn. It's an extra fusion card for player plants. They're always big on those. I don't know if it being a pendulum will actually matter that much. Penduluming has never really been big on the Predaplant gimmick, but it is a fusion gate, so it's good for that. And there's Runic Destruction. Quick play spell. Activate one of these effects, but skip your next battle phase after activation. We already know the second effect. So the prime effect is target one spell trap your opponent controls, destroy it, then banish the top 4 cards of your opponent's deck. Good. Get rid of 5 cards. Predaplant Embulo Melodies is a level 5 plant fusion monster, 1000 attack, 2500 defense, requiring 2 Predaplant monsters. If this card is fusion summoned, you can add 1 Predaplant monster or Predap spell trap from your deck, graveyard, or face-up extra deck to your hand. You can target 1 monster your opponent controls with the Predator counter on it, or 1 monster you control, tribute it, and if you do, special summon 1 Predaplant monster from your deck. You can only use each effect of Predaplant, this long name, once per turn. Not bad. Could use it to tribute your opponent's monsters, which tributing your opponent's stuff is one of the 2 best forms of removal in the game. Not bad. Runic Flashing Fire. Quick play spell. Target 1 special summon monster your opponent controls, destroy it, then banish the top 2 cards from your opponent's deck. It is a quick shot of removal. Not bad. And let's read this one that I missed earlier. Titanocider. Normal trap. Target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls that was special summoned from the extra deck. You can attack to 0, and if you do, negate its effects. If your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck while this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can set this card. You can only use each effect of Titanocider once per turn. So this is potentially a recurring negation and set attack to 0 card. Not the worst. In terms of what I got from this, I got a repeat tour guide from Underworld and Illegal Night, which I didn't want either of those. So those are bad URs for me. Let's go again. 1 rainbow. I don't know if this is new or if I don't have it. The Weather Sunny Canvas. Continuous spell. The weather effect monsters in your main monster zone of this card's column and its adjacent columns gain this effect. You can banish this card, target 1 monster you control, quick effect, tribute that target, and if you do, special summon 1 the weather monster from your hand or graveyard, but not with the same name as the tribute monster had on the field. I'm not going to pretend I understand what all the weather stuff does. It's always been annoying to me. Labyrinth Archfiend. Level 7 Fiend with 2000 attack and 2800 defense. Gains 400 attack for each normal trap with a different name in your graveyard. Your opponent's monsters cannot target Fiend monsters for attacks except this card. You can only use each of the following effects of Labyrinth Archfiend once per turn. If a trap card is activated, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summoned, you can set 1 normal trap from your deck. That cannot only be activated when an attack is declared. Sorry. You can set 1 normal trap from your deck that can only be activated when an attack is declared. So this allows you to set something like one of the Mirror Forces, Magic Cylinders, Negate Attack, Bear Welcome Labyrinth. Neat card. Kind of provides Labyrinth with a big body, which is something they're lacking. Labyrinth Barrage. Normal Trap. When you activate a set normal trap card, except Labyrinth Barrage, this effect becomes that normal trap's effect when that card is activated. Also, until the end of your opponent's next turn after this card resolves, your opponent takes no effect damage from your card effects. The wording on this card has always been weird to me. Because it says when you activate a set normal trap card except Labyrinth Barrage, this effect becomes that card's effect when activated. So does this card have to be activated as chain 1 and then the second one for it to copy? Or is this chain 2 to copy what was already activated? This requires playtesting. Condemned Maiden. Level 4, Fairy, 100 attack, 2000 defense. During your opponent's turn, you can activate one quick play spell card from your hand. You can only use this effect of Condemned Maiden once per duel. Is this a fake out rarity bump? Nope, but it is another copy of the weather forecast, which means it is nothing to me. Predaplant Biblisp is a level 1 plant with 0 attack, 1900 defense. Its effect is, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one Predaplant monster from your deck to your hand except Predaplant Biblisp. If a monster with a Predator counter is on the field, you can special summon this card from the graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect of Predaplant Biblisp once per turn. Alright. Gets you a search out if it is sent to the graveyard, which is not bad. And can potentially summon itself back. Labyrinth Stovey Torby is a level 2 fiend, 0 attack, 2000 defense. With the quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard and discard to one card to set one Labyrinth spell trap from your hand or deck. If a monster leaves the field by your normal trap effect while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card. You can only use each effect of Labyrinth Stovey Torby once per turn. This one I think is better than Chandraglier because this one actually sets itself back to the field, giving you bodies for protection. Also, it looks like a cat stove fireplace, which is cute. More Condemned Maidens, another Torby, and Labyrinth Kuklok. Level 1 Fiend, 0 attack, 0 defense. Quick effect. You can discard this card. This turn, you can activate one normal trap card that was set this turn if you control a Labyrinth monster. If a card is sent from your hand or to the graveyard to activate your normal trap card or your Labyrinth card or effect, while this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand or special summon it. You can only use each effect of Labyrinth Kuklok once per turn. So this is a way for the body to bounce itself back, using one of your other Labyrinth furnitures to activate their effects. It's okay. Runic Smiting Storm. Quick play spell. Banish cards from the top of your opponent's deck up to the number of cards they control. This could be a big one. And then there's Runic Golden Droplet. Quick play spell. Your opponent draws one card, then you banish the top 4 cards of their deck. So you mill your opponent down 5. Good. Here's the guaranteed you are. Hopefully. Labyrinth is a field spell. If you activate a set Welcome Labyrinth normal trap, you can add this additional effect to the card's effect at resolution. After that effect, destroy one card in the field. If you activate a non-Labyrinth normal trap, you can special summon one fiend monster from your hand or graveyard. You can only use each effect of Labyrinth once per turn. Not bad. And Runic Tip. Quick play spell. Add one Runic card from your deck to your hand except Runic Tip, then banish the top card of your opponent's deck. So you can search out any of your Runic cards. This is good for them. Got another Labyrinth Archfiend. And there's the other Labyrinth Servant. Ariana, the Labyrinth Servant. Level 4, 1600 attack, 2100 defense, Fiend. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one Labyrinth card from your deck to your hand, except this card. If another monster leaves the field by your normal trap effect, you can draw one card, then apply this effect. From your hand, either special summon one Fiend or set a spell or trap. You can only use one Ariana Labyrinth Servant effect per turn and only once that turn. So she is a searcher and a drawer. Good. I think overall that was a better pack than the last one. But why stop at that? Oh, good. 3 URs, hopefully. Nothing new. Ultimate Slayer. This card had a bit of a commotion about it when it was first announced. Normal spell. Your opponent cannot activate monster effects in response to this card's activation. Send one monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, then target one monster your opponent controls with the same card type, shuffle it into the deck. It is a targeted removal, so the targeting is a little bit of a thing, but you do also get the effect of sending a card of your type to the graveyard, which depending on what you send could pull something off of that. There's a couple of Psyframe cards that could do something. There's the Adagnister Pegasus. There's Elder Entity Entis. Got options. And is a non-destruction removal. Oh, yeah, and Appaloosa. He's in here. Moonin, the Runic Wings. Level 3 fusion monster, 2000 defense, 0 attack. Requiring 2 runic monsters, but that's a lie, because runic monsters can all be summoned by the quick play spells. If this card is special summoned from the extra deck, you can discard one card to add one runic continuous spell from your deck to your hand. That'd be Runic Allure. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a runic cards you control or a set cards you control, quick effect. Banish this card you control, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Once per turn during your end phase, gain 1000 life points. This is a quick way to get out your Runic Allures, which allows you to banish more cards every time you use your quick plays. And also he gets you a little bit of life points for more protection, and he is a living negation. Not bad. Nothing new out of that one. This bodes well. Oh, a new card. Labyrinth Setup. Play spell. Target 2 of your Labyrinth spell traps that are banished or in your graveyard, except Labyrinth Setup. Shuffle them into the deck. Then if you control a Fiend monster, you can set non-Labyrinth normal traps with different names directly from your deck equal to the number shuffled. You can only activate one Labyrinth Setup once per turn. So this is a way to re-gas up your traps, basically. Not too bad. Got another Titanocider. Got that, which should have been a Labyrinth card, but it's not to nerf it. First, Runic Dispelling. Quick play spell. If your opponent adds a cards from their deck to their hand, except during the draw phase, discard one random card from their hand, then banish the top 2 cards from their deck. This is a neat little punishment for them drawing. And then we have Archfiend's Ghastly Glitch, normal trap. If you control a Fiend monster, target one card on the field, destroy it, then you can send one Fiend monster from your deck to the graveyard. So if you control a Fiend, pop something, then send a card of yours to the graveyard, which could be one of your Labyrinth furnitures, which could come back from the graveyard. Good card. And nothing. I don't know this card. The Great Double Casted Caster. Level 8 Spellcaster Fusion, 0 attack, 2600 defense, requiring 2 non-effect monsters. Gains attack equal to the combined original attack of any Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link monsters used as material for this card. This card can attack directly. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one of your non-effect monsters that is banished or in your graveyard, special summon it. Only use this effect of the Great Double Casted Caster once per turn. And now that I'm looking at the art for this is in fact 2 elves in a trench coat. This is a weird card. I do not see this being played unless it's in a whacked out gimmick. I guess if you use 2 Blackluster soldiers to give it 6,000 attack points and it can attack directly? Other than that, nothing comes to mind. And let's crack into another one. One you are. Overall, I like the contents of this pack more than the last one, but so far I think my openings have been worse. Nothing out of pack 1. Another Soul and Luna. And another Illegal Knight. Wasted what you are. Because Konami hates me. Personally. Nothing. Nothing. Alright, here's the guaranteed you are. Show me the money. Another Labyrinth. And the Weather Painter Moonbow. A Link 3 with 2400 attack. Requiring 3 The Weather monsters. This card is Link summoned. You can special summon one of your banished The Weather monsters. If this Link summon card is destroyed, you can special summon one Weather Painter Rainbow from your extra deck. The weather effect monsters this card points to gain the following effects. Quick effect. Banish this card, then target one monster your opponent controls. Banish it until the standby phase of the next turn. I think I've made my stance on the weather cards perfectly clear at this point. I think they're a good gimmick. Well, I think they're an interesting gimmick. I don't think they're that good. Rarity bump, could be a fake out. Loris, Lady of Lament. Level 3 Fiend with 1500 attack, 500 defense. Her effect is you can target 3 or 6 of your normal traps that are banished or in your graveyard, place them on the bottom of your deck in any order, then draw 1 card for every 3 cards placed. If another monster's is tributed or a normal trap is sent to your graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can target 1 normal trap in your graveyard, set it. You can only use each effect of Loris Lady of Lament once per turn. She's a neat little way to get resources back and draw cards. She's fine. Nothing out of that pack. Another Ariana. Oh, wow. 2 URs. Show me 2 Illegal Knights. There's an Ultimate Slayer. And Hugin, the Runic Wings. Level 2 Fusion Monster, requiring 2 Runic Monsters. That's a lie. 0 attack, 0 defense. If this card is special summoned from the extra deck, you can discard 1 card, add 1 Runic Field spell from your deck to your hand. If another card's you control would be destroyed by card effect, you can banish this card you control instead. If this card in the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, return this card to the extra deck. So she is used to get out the Runic Field spell, which is good. Haven't opened it yet. Hope to open it. And I'll open it right now. Come on, Konami, don't make me a liar. Oh, wow, this card's out already. That just came out in the TCG. Jerry, the Runic Fangs. Level 4, 0 attack, 1000 defense. Am I thinking of a different card? Yes, I am thinking of a different card. Gary's been out. Cannot be destroyed by card effects. If this card is special summoned from the extra deck, you can target 1 non-quick play Runic spell in your graveyard and add it to your hand. When this card is destroyed by battle, you can target 1 card in the field and destroy it. So this is how you get back your important resources. Yeah, the card I'm thinking of that just came out is Frecky. I say just came out, it was like a month ago. Nothing new. Another Titanocider. Nothing out of that one. Third copy of Ariana. Another copy of Gary. Another copy of Ariane and fourth Ariana. Nothing out of that pack. Now here we go. Guaranteed you are. Show me what I want. You know what I want, Konami. Another Ariane. Not what I wanted. Starving Venom Predapower Fusion Dragon. Level 10 dragon with 3600 attack, 2500 defense. Requiring 1 Dark Fusion monster and 1 Fusion monster as material. This card is always treated as a Predaplant card. Once per turn, when a card or effect is activated, quick effect. Tribute 1 monster on either field with a Predator counter, and if you do, negate the activation. If this fusion summoned card you control is sent to your graveyard by an opponent's card, you can target 1 dark monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use this effect of Starving Venom Predapower Fusion Dragon once per turn. I don't think this is good. It gives you a negation if you have a Predator counter on the board, and it requires a Dark Fusion monster and a Fusion monster, so that's already going 6 cards away. 4 from each material, 2 from the fusions, plus whatever you need to make this for a potential negation. And it can resummon a dark monster from your graveyard, which is probably going to be one of the fusion monsters you've already used to make it. I don't think this is a good card. Does not justify being a UR. Alright, this time with gusto. Show me the real cards I want. Another Ariane, another Illegal Knight, and another Appaloosa. Dust everywhere I look. You can't win my love back with these SRs. Hey, you really can't. Oh boy. My luck with these pack openings has not been good. Oh hey, no URs. Nothing out of that one. Greedy Venom Fusion Dragon, and Runic Destruction. Looking for a Runic Fountain or Lady of the Silver Castle. A Royal Rare, Jerry. I'm gonna keep calling him Jerry. Another Runic Destruction. I know there is a quest, like a secret quest, to make your opponent lose by deck out. So I am absolutely going to be making a Runic deck, because Runic decks are just funny. Nothing. And apparently I'm getting more cards for Runic than I am for Labyrinth. Just because I've gotten something half resembling a boss monster that Runics have, and nothing for Labyrinth. Another Ariane, another Loris. Nothing. The Sol and Luna. Three Tragedias. Tragedia. And nothing. No URs. Super shiny dog. Well, let's go again. Nothing out of that one. Gotta start doing these faster. Nothing. Rarity bump. Could be a lie. It was. The Ariana. Rarity bump on her, which if it ain't to prismatic, it ain't worth it. The Tanocider, another Loris, and another tour guide. My disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. Another Ariane. Runic Freezing Curses. Target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of this turn. Weird that the until the end of this turn is in parentheses. Then banish the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. Neat little M-Perm banish. Nothing. Nothing. Another Labyrinth. And Runic Fountain. Field spell. You can activate Runic Quick Play spell cards from your hand during your opponent's turn. Once per turn, if you activate a Runic Quick Play spell, you can target up to 3 Runic Quick Play spells in your graveyard, place them at the bottom of your deck in any order, then draw the same number of cards. This is really good. Gets you your Runics back in your deck so you can keep using them, and lets you draw up to 3 cards. Pot agreed, get the fuck out of my way. The Runic Fountain almost makes that whole opening worth it. And here we go. Last tenor. Nothing. 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 Show me the nothing. There it is. Another Loris. That's going to be dust. Nothing from that. Here's AUR. I'm guessing Illegal Knight. Oh no, Tour Guide. Great. I don't play decks that need Tour Guide. Tour Guide's a good card. I don't want her. Nothing from those. Nothing from that. Fake out animation. And last one. Another copy of Jerry. Well, sadly, the world was not kind enough to give me all the cards that I wanted. So instead, we're just going to look at a manual style. Lovely Labyrinth of the Silver Castle. Level 8 Fiend, 2900 attack, 1900 defense. When your opponent cannot activate monster effects in response to the activation of your normal trap cards. You can only use each of the following effects of Lovely Labyrinth of the Silver Castle once per turn. Target one normal trap in your graveyard, set it to your field, but it can't be activated unless you control a fiend. If another monster leaves the field by a normal trap effect, you can destroy one card in your opponent's hand at random or their field. This is a good removal card. Unfortunately, her being just shy of a 3000 body does hold her back. And there's Welcome Labyrinth. Normal trap. Special summon one Labyrinth monster from your deck. Also, until the end of the next turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters from the deck or extra deck except fiends. If a monster leaves the field by your normal trap effect while this card is in your graveyard, that the turn it was sent there, you can set this card. Only use each effect of Welcome Labyrinth once per turn. And I think that is the only ones I didn't open, which is upsetting because I like the Labyrinth stuff and I would have loved to have opened that. But that means I'm going to be doing some dusting of cards and building stuff. I'm planning on making a Runic and a Labyrinth deck because I like both of those. But that is something you can look forward to in the future, because we all know you love looking forward to my content. And you can look forward to it when I'm not streaming, because that is going to be the end of this video. Got the stream. Thanks for watching. If you're catching the replay, thanks for that too. Goodbye.